In the last chapter of this book, we're going to go back to our discussion of linear relationships when we did that linear regression, where we compared two numerical variables, that bivariate data. But this time, we're actually going to take a statistical inference approach and ask to see if the observations that we observed were actually statistically significant. So we're going to look at a study here with premature babies. So we are going to define a premature baby as any baby born before the 37th week of the 40 weeks of pregnancy. Often these premature babies have low birth weights. And so the question might be, is a low birth weight related to factors that will affect brain function in these babies? So this study was published in 2008, and the researchers took 26 premature babies and measured their birth weight and their hippocampus volume. Now, the reason they looked at the hippocampus was because this was part of the brain that's important for the development of short and long-term memory. Now, from these results, they were able to calculate a sample correlation of 0.477. And if you remember from our previous study of linear relationships, that is a relatively low sample correlation. It is positive, but it's not particularly strong. We also look at this equation here, where you can predict the hippocampus volume by taking 1.67 and adding 0.0026 times the birth weight. Here, in this picture, we're going to see the scatter plot. And if you look at the scatter plot, you should see that there does appear to be some positive relationship here, but it doesn't seem to be particularly well defined. So the question that we want to start asking is, could this relationship that we see have just happened by chance? That really there was no relationship between these two variables if we were to look at the entire population, even though in this particular sample we did see a slight positive relationship. Also, the slope here was really close to 0, so is it possible that there's not actually any positive slope? And we're going to use statistical inference to be able to answer those types of questions, using the same process of confidence intervals and hypothesis tests that we had in our previous chapters, but this time looking at how it relates to things like slope and correlation.